Hey everybody, how we doing? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Build-A-Figure for Bonebreaker. Now, I've done all the figures you see behind there as reviews individually on their own, which you can find on my channel, and now I'm going to be taking a look at and a how-to guide on how to put together Bonebreaker. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab the shell pieces, the tank part itself, and you're going to want to take specifically just one of these, and you're going to take the parts from Sabretooth, the seat, the engine, and the back panel, and you're going to want to put them in. Now, for the seat here, you're going to want to take it and put it where the red front here is facing front, so you're going to put it in there. Then you're going to take the engine block itself, and you're going to take it so that the engine is pointing towards him, like so. See right here. So it'll look like this. And then you want to take the back panel here, this right here, and snap it in right here. It's going to slide in. Now, you're going to want to take the other end of the tank and snap it in. Might take a minute because these are just held in. They're not snapped in or anything. So, just like this, you're going to want to put it together. It'll close together. And you should be good. There you go. You got a tank. Now, for the rest of the figure itself, you're going to take these barrels that came with Havok, and there's pegs on the bottom here, which masquerade as bullet holes, which is pretty clever. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take the barrels, and you want to take them so that I believe, let's see here. Yes, you want to take it so that the lids are facing outward. So on both sides, the lids need to be facing outward to pin them in. There you go, easy peasy. You're going to want to take the torso piece of Bonebreaker. You got to be careful here because the neck brace it's not held on or anything, so it could just pop right off and might lose it. Then you're going to put them in like that. You're going to take the head of Bonebreaker. You're going to put it on his noggin right there. Pop it in. There we go. Easy peasy. And you'll take his rifle, put it in his hand if you want. I will. And you're done. And he also comes with a set of hands, which you will, if you don't have anywhere to put them right in the trunk. Easy storage. And there you have Bonebreaker. He is built, he is complete, and he looks fantastic. Now, a brief history of Bonebreaker. There's not much to discuss with him because he's more of a background character for other more well-known Reavers such as Donald Pierce, Lady Deathstrike, Pretty Boy, all the other more iconic-looking Reavers. But he is still a great addition to have, and apparently, according to some leaks, we might be getting a Pretty Boy this year. So you'll be able to finish off that whole team if you want with the who was the figure that came in the Caliban wave? Him. There you go. You get him and Lady Deathstrike, you got yourself a almost full set of Reavers, which is great. Now, taking a look at the tank itself, it's got some very nice sculpt work. It could have done with maybe a wash. You can see a little bit of silver right here that they did do a little bit of paint on. It looks good, but it could have done with maybe more, just like a simple black wash over it would have really made some of those details pop. Little panels here. There's some pegs here so you can stick some figures on. It's got like a silver plate metal here that's molded in. Again, you got the barrels on the side. You got the trunk here. These treads do not move. They are rubber though, so they feel natural, but they don't move. They're just locked in. He's got an additional gun barrel up front here to spot the two headlights. Some more silver paint here. What I presume is a rocket pod. Basically taped to the side here. Some more nice sculpt work, some paint detail in the wheels itself, which looks really good. You can see the engine on the back here. Nice. Again, could have done with a wash. A lot of this could have done with a wash. It really would have made it, pop more. But that's just me. Not much to discuss with the body of the Bonebreaker himself, because, well, he's just, your standard. I presume this is the Bucky Cap torso, but I could be wrong. But, it's just your standard average male Marvel Legends torso with strap, in the middle. It's got his collar piece. Ain't much to him. There's a peg in the back. He has these currently equipped pointer finger hands, so trigger holding hands, but they go up and down, so you can have them pointing it down, pointing it up, something like that if you want. Take a look at the gun itself, actually. I quite like this gun. It's a nice. It reminds me of the pulse rifle from Alien, in the second Alien movie. It's a nice silver wash at the tip of the barrel. Has a small little port in here, which if you have any of the, say, the G.I. Joe, the Classified series figures, and you have those smoke effects that come with the weapons, put that in there, you know, any of the blast effects, it'll look really well. I don't have any, unfortunately, so I can't show that off, but I've seen that before, and it does add to it. It does make it look a lot nicer. Now, just gonna pop him off real quick so we can get a better look at the torso here. Again, you know, very standard, very typical. I like the head sculpt. He's just a mad screaming baby. Like, look at him. He looks like he's got a real baby face. You can take the sunglasses off, by the way. Sunglasses come off, and there's two little pigs directly above the ears, which these slot into. So you can have them down, you can have them up, you can have them off if you want. They're going to be down for the entirety of his shelf life, probably. Wild gray white mohawk, crazy collar piece. Really showing off that 80s Outback look, which I appreciate. I definitely like this guy quite a bit. Now for articulation, there isn't much. He's a tank, so what are you going to get? Nothing here. There's nothing here. There's a little swivel here at the front barrel, which you can, you know, you can stick a blast effect in there, so he has a little tank piece. I gotta pop him off again because not much to show. Head is on a swivel and a ball joint, so it can look down that far, not very far with this in the way, up that far, not super far with his hair in the way, and the collar piece, but you can move his hair out of the way, or take the collar piece off if you want. Arms are on a hinge and a swivel. It's like a 360, you can go out that far. They can go in that far. Double jointed. Go in. The trigger finger hands are on a swivel up and down. You know, normal. And it's got an ab crunch, which isn't really accessible with the tank bit because it messes with the straps and everything. So I'm just not going to use that, and it usually warps it. But give him his gun back. Put him down here. I like him. I think he's good. I'm really happy to have another member of the Reavers. I don't have any right now. I'm thinking about maybe getting the Lady Deathstrike because I love Wolverine and I love his villains. So actually, speaking of Wolverine villains, let's bring in some characters for a size comparison. Bring in another Wolverine villain. We have Omega Red, who, again, you know, just towers over Bonebreaker because he is a tank. He is half a tank and half a man, so he's going to look relatively short compared to everybody else. Another X-Men villain, we have Cyber, who also towers over him, which is to be expected. There's nobody who's not going to. There's really not. He's the shortest Marvel Legends I think I've seen, because of the fact that he doesn't have a lower torso. But hey, what are you gonna do? And bringing another figure who unfortunately shares his current predicament, we have the top half of Cannonball, which honestly, I want to see here. I want to see something here. Pop this off. Pop this off. Come on. There we go. Oh yeah, there we go. That's a good look. Yeah. So if you don't have that Pulse 3-pack, you know, you make do with what you got. Now, can I stick him on the cannon piece? No, I can't. The peg is too large, and he is this hole is unfortunately too small, but also looks funny just as is. But that is a great look. Wow, I hadn't thought about that. That's awesome. All right, put you back together. There we go. Put you two back together. Awesome. You know, for what it is, I love this guy. I think he's great. I love having just an absurd, manic, very obscure X-Men villain. You know, I went and read the Outback era of X-Men. You don't really get a lot on him. Like a lot of the Reavers, you don't get a whole lot of detail on him. We don't even know his name. But we don't need to, because he is just this absurd Mad Max-esque monster who is half a tank, and he hates mutants, and he's just a crazy, and I love it. You know, he's just a nutcase, and I think it's great, and it's really good to have this representation of him on here. because, you know, that's an era of X-Men which is now currently getting touched on quite a bit with the current releases, with that Mojo World 3-pack, with a long shot figure coming out, with the potential of a new Pretty Boy next year coming. We can have a whole 80s era. There's even rumors of a Outback retro carded Rogue, which would be awesome. So yeah, this is great. It's a great addition. Really love this wave. I think if I had to give this wave like a rating, putting him back there with all of them next to each other so you can see them all up close, this wave is a solid 8 for me. I would say, just given a first guess of lowest to worst to best, Darwin's the worst because there's not really much for him, followed by Havok. I love Havok. I think he's great, but this figure, the one I got, unfortunately, is not very good. The joints are very loose, and it's just the same body over and over again with the same... There's nothing to him. He's just matte black with a blue circle on his chest. After that, I'd give it to Wolverine. I love Wolverine, but I just don't care for this personal design, and I don't like the color scheme. The yellow is very green. It doesn't look good. After that, I'd give it to Maggott, not because I don't like him, but just because I don't really have a connection with him. Then to Sabretooth. I love Sabretooth. I think this is a really good figure. I love this Sabretooth a lot. I'm really happy to have a Sabretooth. Then to Siryn, who is a really cool figure. I love the cloth cape. I think she's really fun to pose. And the best would have to be Vulcan, simply for that new body, which is fantastic, and it's what this Havok should have been on. But, you know, we make do with what we got, and it's a good wave. I like it. Again, like a solid 8. It's a really good wave. You can probably get these pretty cheap. I've seen these at retail going on clearance quite a bit. So you can probably get these in like a couple months at pretty cheap. You can probably get most of these for like $20 at some point. The hardest one to find probably will be maybe Wolverine. I haven't seen Wolverine in stores that much, or Darwin or Maggott. Like these three I haven't seen in stores that much. But hey, you know, you can get them on Amazon for probably around the same price too. So thank you very much for sticking to the end of this. Soon I will have a review up for the Quasar figure, which I know is a little old, but you know, it's what I got, so we'll talk about it. And if you'd like to see more of this, just let me know in the comments. Subscribe, like, and you can find me on my socials at, well, I was going to show it off a little better, but his head's in the way. At No I'm the Question, the name will be on the bottom of the screen right now. Thank you very much for sticking to the end of this, and I hope you had a good day.